Hi guys, welcome to Basement Supercar Build, the channel where we see if an average guy like me can design and build his own mid-engine car. This video will be a highlights video of the work that was finished this week. If you want to see the actual work take place, watch the full-length video for this week. And with that out of the way, let's get started on this week's video.
Wanted to take a minute and show you where I'm at. Just finished a kind of a critical procedure, joining the lower rear frame part to the cabin area mid-frame. It's completely welded in. Both sides have these corner gussets for stability. Capped off both rear tubes so there's no openings, and welded in both of these gussets here for strength, and welded in these 4 tubes here. This is where the fuel tank will sit on those tubes there. And once I finished all the welding, strapped it back down to the table using the center line, the chalked center line on the table to make sure everything's square and level before I start adding the next step, which will be welding in the 2 upper tubes that connect to this post. For the upper suspension, they're actually a little longer than these lower tubes. And I've got to make a fixture to hold everything into position while I start tack welding those on. And there'll be a couple of vertical tubes running between those 4 tubes. And once all of that is in, the rear of the car will be finished frame-wise. There's still a lot of steel components have to be fabricated and bolted on to the frame to attach the suspension. I'm going to make all those attach points out of steel instead of aluminum, just for strength. So we had a pretty productive day today. I wanted to stop here and show you guys what I'm doing to fixture these last 2 tubes on the rear end. You can see I've got 2 wooden templates, fixtures, whatever you want to call them. And they are notched to fit the tubes exactly. They are screwed down to the table. They fit just between the tubes and sit on top of the lower tubes. And then for the upper part, you can see they're clamped down to the surface controlling the height, and they are strapped left and right to these surfaces controlling the width. That locates them exactly where they should be on these vertical tubes for welding. I laid a level across the back end just to check everything is square, and it looks good. So I think I am ready to start welding. Wanted to take a minute to show you something I tried that didn't work out as well as I had hoped. I'm making the tubes that span between the lower and the upper rear frame sections. This is one here that I've tacked up, or actually welded up, to try to fit. There's 4 of these that go in here. Maybe at a better angle like this. And they don't quite fit as well as I had hoped. They're angled out a little here at the top, and they fit not so great here. And the way that I made these was I made a little weld fixture here to hold the parts in place. Got 2 pieces of tube here simulating those frame tubes. Cut all the pieces, drop them down in the weld fixture that holds them in place. I tack welded them in the fixture and then pulled them out and completely welded them up solid. I'm just not happy with them, so I'm going to try something different. I'll show you guys what that different route is when I get something accomplished on it. I haven't quite started on that yet. But since I'm documenting the entire build process, wanted to show you the things that I try that don't work out so well, the failures, if you would call them that, as well as the things that do work, just for document purposes.